Namaste. I am Gloria Grace Rand, and today I have a guest with us on the podcast, and her name is Deborah Finley. So welcome, Deborah.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
Oh, I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Deborah is an amazing woman. She is a medium, an educator, a certified angel card reader, an ordained minister, a healing arts professional, an author, and intuitive. That's a lot of stuff, young lady.
Too much.
Well, but wait, there's more. She's got 25 years of experience actually as a medium, and she's currently director of education and owner of Dynamic Continuing Education, LLC, where she offers continued education courses in energy healing modalities and various certifying courses in mediumistic, psychic, and spiritual development. And she's also an author of an upcoming book that's called Women Standing Strong Together, Stories of Surrendering to Your Authentic Self, which is how I met the lovely Deborah Finley, because I know one of the other authors of this book. It's 12 women have come together to share their stories, and it's going to be available December 29th for sale, but it's really great. And I loved your story, especially, it had me hooked. You're a really great storyteller. So it deals with a little bit about your gift as a medium. So I wondered if we could start there, and how did that all get started? How did you, I don't know, not exactly become a medium, but how did you discover, maybe, is that a better way of saying it? How did you discover you were a medium?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Basically, I was born like this, and it wasn't anything that was discussed in my family or talked about in my family at all. It was just, don't say that. Or, oh my gosh, Debbie said that. So I grew up like this, and then as time went on, I knew basically not to talk about it, and I actually shut it down, so to speak. So I fought very hard against being who I am. And as I progressed into adulthood, the profession of mediumship came to me. It kind of unfolded. Well, it did unfold, not kind of, it did. And what happened was I took a class on how to read cards. And I didn't want to go, but they needed a fourth person. And I went and I did this. And then as I was reading for people, my mediumship started to unfold again as an adult. And I worked I guess it was about 12 years or so as a professional, medium.
I want to interrupt you for 1 second, because I just realized for someone who is maybe listening to this podcast and has never heard the term medium before, we should probably explain what that is. So you would best do that. So yeah,
I'll try. Well, it's different than being psychic, or intuitive. I'm a go-between. I'm a go-between between this world and what I like to refer to as heaven, because that's what it is to me. I don't want to put my belief systems onto anyone else, but I, with permission, always with permission, deliver messages, to those who seek me out. So, but mediumship is more than just that. It's also healing, and it's very healing. And there actually is a form of spiritual healing that mediums do as well.
Oh,
so I just wanted to, let the people know that.
Okay. Well, could you elaborate on that a little bit? Like how would that work? Like, say I came to you and was working with you, and you felt maybe that I needed that or something.
Well, I would ask permission if I could place my hands on your shoulders, for instance, and you would either give that permission or not. And then I say you did, and I would place my hands on your shoulders and I would connect with our divine source, our God, our creator.
Yeah.
And I would ask to be the medium, the go-between for the healing. And I would allow the healing energy that the creator God sends to me to come through me. So I'm just a facilitator in that aspect.
Right.
It's not unlike other forms of hands-on healing, such as Reiki or integrated energy therapy and things like that. And then just allow, I personally do not mix my messages with the healing. I used to until I learned not to. By teachers who knew better.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Well, cool.
Thank you for asking that.
Yeah. So, why did you decide to tell your story in the Women Standing Strong book? Because I know it also has something to do with your gifts. So maybe you could shed some light on that.
I appreciate that question. Thank you so much for asking. Gloria, a friend of mine, had asked me to write about the exact day and moment when I knew how important my gifts were. Because like I said, I spent a lot of time in between that working as a medium and so forth. I took a sabbatical and opened up a school, for the healing arts. So I had fought really hard against who I was. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I was asked to write about the exact moment in time when I knew. So that was what I wrote about. And I decided to write about it because it took so much energy for me to fight who I naturally am and try to make everyone else happy in life. And I became so confused and out of touch with my own feelings. The result of that, I ended up shutting down, but also shutting down my feelings, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
And then I became confused as to what was my feelings and what was somebody else's feelings. So I did it. I wrote the book in this chapter. Excuse me, I didn't write the book. I wrote a chapter in this book to help other people just embrace the authentic self, because I had such conflict in me as to who I was.
Yeah.
But now I'm okay with it.
Well,
I've been okay.
I'm definitely glad that you shared your story about that. And I know what you mean, because it is hard sometimes to really, I guess, to own up to the truth of who you are and to be able to then share it with others, because not everyone understands. And also sometimes we have that fear of being judged. Does that play into it?
100%. I mean, 100%. Ironically, I was trying to be somebody. It's a part of who I am, a wife and a mother and so forth. But honestly, I would never ask those I love not to be who they are, because they were embarrassed or for whatever reasons, So I just had to come to that point in my life. And so God woke me up. That's what God did. Okay. God woke me up at that time. And I realized truly that it really doesn't have to, it's not all about me. Do you understand? Yes, it did have to do with myself. Yes. And it woke me up, but it really isn't all about me. We are all connected on levels that we can't even comprehend. Yeah. We really just can't comprehend.
That's true.
And it's so divinely orchestrated. It blows my mind, It really does. It blows my mind.
Yeah, I know. Every day I learn more and more about it and know that I still have so much more to learn in the process.
How about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How about it?
Yeah. What would you say to someone who might be going through a situation where maybe they feel like they're called to do something and they're a little afraid of it, or maybe people have been, criticizing them, or
Oh,
just
yeah.
maybe they're just confused about it and they don't understand it. What advice would you have for someone who really feels called to do something more?
I would truly say surround yourself with like-minded people. I would also tell you to reach out for education, okay, to individuals who truly have been working perhaps in the field that you're thinking about going in, and mine was mediumship. I went up to a center in North Jersey, and it's a church, and she brings in all kinds of phenomenal tutors from England and so forth. And so that's where I went, and in addition to others too, but well reputable people.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's education wise. I would also tell you to reach out to people, reach out to a trusted source, so that you know that you're not alone. And if necessary, go seek out a professional counselor or psychiatrist or whatever, okay, without fear, because you need to know that you're not alone, and you need to have somebody listen to you without judgment.
Yeah. That's so important, because it really does help. I know I have done that, and a couple of years ago I went to see someone for a while because partly it was dealing with some grief. I had lost my sister, and I was still not quite feeling right, and I had some other issues going on in my personal life, and I just really needed someone to talk to. And it helped. And she actually is the person who directed me to A Course in Miracles, which has helped me so much. So yeah, it's
like I said, we're all connected.
Yeah.
We are so connected on levels we cannot even comprehend. And there are no coincidences. There really are no coincidences. And I'm also writing my own book as well. So it'll come out hopefully maybe April-ish, so hopefully. And through writing this and showing writing down the experiences and so forth, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am blown away. And it's so healing. It's so healing to write, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you know what? I think that would be something else that I would recommend doing too, is if you're struggling, is to journal.
Absolutely.
Because that really helps when you're either feeling frustrated or you're feeling alone, and just to be able to get some of those thoughts out on paper, it can really free you up a lot.
Yes.
So
absolutely right.
Thanks. So if someone wanted to be able to get in touch with you, what is the best way that they can reach out to you?
I have a website. It's www.angel-energy.org.
Okay.
And that's, they can reach out to me through there.
Okay.
If they'd like.
All right. Well, I'll be sure and have that in the show notes as well, so people will be able to connect with you. And as I mentioned, you're going to be in the book, Women Standing Strong, Stories of Surrendering to Your Authentic Self, which comes out December 29th, 2019. So depending on when you're listening to this, it may be already for sale. So go to Amazon and get yourself a copy, because it's got some amazing stories in there, inspirational, motivating, heartfelt stories from women. And I think it's important to know, I'm grateful that all of you have done this, because again, it helps people realize that we're not alone. And sometimes we feel like, we're the only one that all this stuff happens to. But
you're right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right there.
Yeah.
It's God's truth. And what you're speaking, because even though all of us are different people, some of us have similar situations.
Yeah.
And because of our personalities and our life choices and so forth, we all journeyed a different way. But the journey, was supposed to be to help bring us into who we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think it's so inspiring. These women's stories are so inspiring and provide a lot of hope.
Yes.
For people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we need
We
That's what
do.
we need more of. Hope and
So,
love in the world today. So.
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, with that, I'm going to wrap it up for this edition. And as always, I encourage you to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or Spreaker, or my YouTube channel as well, if you happen to be watching the video. And also, if you would be so kind as to leave us a review and rating on iTunes, that would be great, because that helps more people find us. So
Okay.
we'd appreciate that. And until next time, I am Gloria Grace Rand, and I want to encourage you to live fully, love deeply, and engage authentically.